Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Madden 2002. We're getting things started right off with some coach firings. The Panthers have fired their coach after another mediocre season. I think they've had a sub 5-win or 5-win season. I don't know, I think they were like 7-9 last year, but either way, they have not been doing well. So their coach is fired. He gone. And that's just the first of a few that we are probably going to see across the NFL. Because it's that time. And the Bills are going to fire their coach. The Giants are going to fire their coach. They probably needed to. And the Falcons, thanks to us, the Falcons are going to fire their coach. And the Texans are one and done again with their next coach. So they're already on coach number 3. But here is a look at the standings. We did win that game against the Falcons. So we did not only go, well, we're already in the playoffs after the last video, but we clinched the division. So we managed to clinch the division. And here is a look at our division as we flip through. So we managed to beat out the Redskins by just a game. They lose their final game. We win ours, so we get to go. The Eagles finished 7-9, and the Giants, another 5-11 season. They were 5-10-1 last year, thanks to the tie. But here is the wild card round: the Titans and the Ravens. We get to play the Saints. The Jags are going on the road to the Jets, and the Skins are heading to Minneapolis to play the Vikings, the 500 Vikings. So I think won the NFC North. So it was a weak year in the NFC North. Yeah, we get to host the Saints. We have played the Saints in this series before. I think in year 2, I think it was one of the earlier games in year 2. I'm pretty sure that's when we played the Saints. So this team is more or less still the same. I still have Joe Hornet receiver, Aaron Brooks the quarterback, and Ricky Williams the running back. So it's a very familiar squad, I guess, if you're familiar with playing Madden. Around this time, the Saints haven't changed a whole lot. And again, I'm going to apologize for my capture card. I don't know what's going on, why it keeps doing that. I swear it doesn't do that when I record these. And I don't even notice. It might just be my program, honestly. But either way, it doesn't happen for the actual game. So just bear with me here as it does it in the beginning. So we do manage to accomplish one of the most basic goals that we had set out for ourselves heading into year 3, which was playoffs or bust. I mean, we were probably going to lose our job if we didn't get into the postseason. So by now having a 10-6, a winning season, and getting into the playoffs, we at least are going to guarantee that we're going to be able to do this job for at least another season or two. But we need to continue this momentum, man. We need to continue this momentum, get some results. We need to have a winning coach record. We need another division title probably, So this is only the beginning, man. This is just to get our foot in the door. We got to continue this pace. But we got a game ahead of us. We got playoffs ahead of us, baby, in the wild card round. And already Ricky Williams is making us look stupid as he's getting a first down and a heck of a lot more. He bounces outside, has some space. The last tackle can't get him, and Ricky Williams just got off to the races. And in the last game, we saw Edgerrin James break off 81 yards, and Ricky Williams is going to break off 69 yards, and for some reason the run defense on this team is just not there, man. I don't know how we let that one go, as Ricky Williams just absolutely finds the open space here. Everyone's doing olays and just like Jazzy Jeff diving out at the front door of Will's house type of tackles to try and get Ricky Williams down, and no one's going to catch him, man. This is Ricky pre-dreads. I think he has dreads. I think they're just short. They're not hanging out the helmet yet. So first and 10 now for Chuck Dunn and the Cowboys offense. And now our running back's going to get busy as Perry gets to the outside, and he's got a first down and a heck of a lot more, and he's going to get us inside of Saints territory. So, hey, man, we got a running back too, okay? His name is Perry. He's a rookie, and he can do some cool things too. So we might be relying on our running backs in this game as well. The last game, I think, against the Saints was a huge running back duel with Ricky Williams and Emmitt Smith. So anyway, we handed it off to Perry again. He's going to shake off a tackle in the backfield and extend this play, man. I don't think we've seen Perry have a lot of angry or physical runs like that so far. And there's a look at his season stats. So we can already look at that before we get to the end of the season and we look over all the stats. But hopefully he can get an accumulative 1,000-plus yards in the postseason. But either way, so we have a fresh set of downs thanks to Perry. So on first and 10 now late in this first quarter, Dunn's going to drop back. We're going to try and throw for it. And lasers that one to Joey Galloway. And the Saints defense is just not anywhere. I mean, their brain's just not there as Galloway runs past probably 3 or 4 Saints defenders and just kind of speeds past all of them to get into the end zone. And the yards after catch merchant, the type of play right there. I mean, just look at that. I don't know what they were doing, man. It's the same kind of tackling that we just saw in the Ricky Williams touchdown, if you ask me. So, but we do manage to answer back to the Saints touchdown here in the first quarter. So we're going to leave the first quarter tied at 7 with New Orleans. But now New Orleans is moving into Cowboy territory. He's going to hand off to Ricky again. Ricky's got some speed on the outside, shakes off Jared O'Neal, but does get brought down by a pair of linebackers. So And there you see in his little picture. See, he's got his dreads. He's got short ones, very short ones, and he is elected to the Pro Bowl as well. And I'm not shocked. He's probably one of the best running backs in the NFC this year. So, but our defense is forcing a 3rd and long, so they're going to force Aaron Brooks to have to throw for it, and he does get it to a receiver past the sticks. I'm not sure where they'll spot it with the tackle. They'll probably give him the first down, I would imagine, and they do. So 1st and 10 now for the Saints in the red zone. They're going to go back to Ricky Williams, but Ricky Williams is not only going to get tackled, but he's going to get popped, as that's Woodson. I always get the two safeties mixed up. We have two safeties with essentially the same name. I always get it mixed up. But he causes the fumble, but the Saints do recover. So the Saints only lose a couple yards and maintain possession. Brooks senses the pressure and moves to his right off of his foot and unloads this ball down the middle of the field, and it is caught. So they get the first down, but not the touchdown. So 1st and goal for the Saints. They're going to run the hurry up. They have plenty of time here in the first half, but they just want to move a tempo, I guess. And that's not going to work as Aaron Brooks sails that one out of the end zone. So 2nd goal now for the Saints, just 1:41 left to go. They're going to try and go for the handoff again, but that one is well covered, gobbled up in the backfield as Ricky Williams has nowhere to go. So now it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 10-yard line. So they're just moving backwards here as Brooks is going to run with tempo again, checks this one down to Ricky Williams, and again, he's not going anywhere as Hambrick comes up big with the tackle on Williams to keep him out of the end zone. So we're going to force a field goal at the worst here, and the Saints are going to try and kill as much time as possible before, giving the ball back to us here. They really don't want us to try and answer back to them in the first half, which is fine. They can do whatever they want. The kick is up, and it is good. It is just a simple chip shot, so nothing too shocking there. And so the Saints are going to take a 10-7 lead here late in the first half. But we still do have time. So after the kickoff here, 37 seconds left, 2nd and 10. Dunn's going to drop back a long deep shot, and he's going to find Joey Galloway, who gets brought down at about the Dallas 41 or 42-yard line. So I talked in the last video about this connection that Dunn and Galloway have this season. It's really been working out. I want to keep seeing that in the playoffs. So with 30 seconds left to go now, 1st and 10. Dunn, another deep shot, and that's in double coverage to Raggy Bismail, and he cannot haul that one in. So probably a dangerous ball. Probably didn't want that one caught. So 2nd and 10 with 28 seconds left to go. Dunn again stands firm, steps up in the pocket, and unloads a rocketing pass to Joey Galloway once again. And that is a humongous pickup for the Cowboys offense. We're going to call timeout and see if we can get a little bit closer here. So Dunn now, 20 seconds left to go. Tries to fire it off to the right side of the field safely. I believe it's to Tyson, our rookie receiver, and he was not able to get to that ball. So 18 seconds left, 2nd and 10. Dunn again going to the same place, but there's really nothing on that side. I think it was a check down to Perry, but Howard had that one very well covered. So it's going to be a 3rd and 11. And the Cowboys are going to think about going hurry up here, but it's going to take way too much time, so they're going to just call the timeout and send Stuckley out there to try and tie things up with the Saints to end the first half. And the kick is up. It's another long one here, and that one did not have a shot here, as Stuckley maybe in a couple seasons, if he keeps growing, might be able to make those, but not in this one. So the second quarter is going to come to a close, 10-7. The Saints are going to hold on to a 3-point lead. In the third quarter now on a 2nd down, Chuck Dunn wants everything, baby. He wants the home run ball, and he gets it to Joey Galloway. So I'm just going to keep praising this matchup because it just keeps seeming to working for some reason. Dunn keeps finding ways to get Joey Galloway the ball in these tight corners, tight windows, and it is working out. So 1st and 10 now inside the Saints 30 as we are moving the ball once again. We moved the ball at the end of the first half, just couldn't finish. Maybe we can finish on this drive here as it's a check down to Gonzalez, and Gonzalez gets down to the sticks here. I think he might be just a little bit short, though. We'll see what they mark it, and it is short. So 2nd and inches, going to try and run for it here on 2nd and inches, and to give it to Perry, and Perry up the middle has a nice wide enough hole to get through to get the first down. So we fast forward, though, to another inches situation. This time it's 3rd and inches. We're going to hand it off again to Perry, and Perry had the open lane if he just cut inside, but he tries to get to the outside for some reason, and the Saints have that one well covered. And that's going nowhere. So 4th and 1, they're just going to bring out Stuckley. They're not going to try and risk it here inside the Saints 5. I don't know if I would agree with that, but we'll let Will Newton make those calls on the field. So Stuckley's going to nail this one through, and we're going to take a tie ball game here late into the third. And the third quarter is going to end as the Saints don't do anything with the ball once they get it. So 10-10 is your score heading into the fourth. So tied in the playoffs, it's a good place to be. We could be in a much worse situation. Still have plenty of opportunities to win this one. Same with the Saints. So a minute and a half left to go, deep in their own territory. The Saints need to run some kind of 2-minute drill here, and they're getting a huge bit of help here as this huge pickup gets them close to midfield, but they're going to fumble the football again, but this time they're not going to recover it as the Cowboys defense comes up with it. And I think it was Hambrick once again getting on top of that football. or getting on top of the football rather. And so now the Saints, man, after a humongous pickup, are going to give us the ball. And Chuck Dunn, under some pressure, has to get rid of it in a hurry, and that one's picked off as he tries to throw up just a prayer ball to Joey Galloway, because he's pretty good at coming down with those. But that time it is picked off by Kirby on the Saints. And so on back-to-back plays, we exchange turnovers, but the Saints are unable to do anything once they get the ball back. So the fourth quarter is going to end. We're going to be in overtime, ladies and germs, in the playoffs. So on a 3rd and 6 with the football, all we have to do is score, and we can win this one. We can walk it off. And so Raghib Ismail has this one hauled inside or close to the 45 here, about the 42, 43-yard line. So Dunn's going to drop back now and fires off to the right side again, and this time he's going to find, I believe it's Kelly, the tight end, who hauls that one in. And so we get another humongous pickup, and Dunn is absolutely calculating, constructing himself a game-winning drive here right now. So on 2nd and 7, we're going to hand off to Perry here, try and burn some time. And Perry's going to get to the outside edge, and he's going to get us well inside the 20, and that's going to set up a potential game-winning field goal here if we can just nail this one through the upright. So we could probably maybe try to center this one a little bit better, but they're just going to send out Stuckley for this kick here from the 20-yard line. It's a chip shot field goal, and this time Stuckley makes it, man. We are in a dome, thank goodness, and we don't have to worry about the elements because we are in January. So, and Stuckley's going to win us this ball game. So he misses the field goal earlier in the game, but we still managed to tie it, and he still provides the game-winning kick for us here in the playoffs. So after losing so many crushing games in Texas Stadium, we win the one that really matters in the playoffs. So we're going to advance over the Saints. The Saints put up a valiant fight here, but really just on offense, they weren't nearly as potent enough outside of that Ricky Williams run. They really kind of dropped the ball on offense, if you ask me. But a very, very even score or even game back and forth. The score definitely reflects that. And Chuck Dunn doesn't have the best of games here because he was really just trying to sling that ball, get anything working, as we do throw pretty heavily on this team. But still throws for over 200 yards and a touchdown. We'll take it. Perry has himself an absolute hell of a game. And so does Galloway, man. So we were really getting a lot from big contributors on offense when we absolutely needed them, which is so crucial, so important. Because we didn't really see a ton of that in the regular season. But moving on here, your wild card round, the Ravens clobber the Titans, the Jets beat the Jaguars by a pretty wide margin, and the Redskins pull off the upset, if you could call it that, because the Vikings were 8-8, but they do go on the road and beat the Vikings and manage the upset. So the Jets are going to be playing the Colts here, the Skins are going to be at the Buccaneers, the Ravens are going to go to Denver to play the Broncos, and we are now going to go on the road to Seattle to play the Seahawks. We've already lost to Seattle before. I think it was our first game this year, was in Seattle. So we're going to be heading back here, hopefully in better conditions, to play the Seahawks and hopefully move further in the playoffs. So hope to see you guys in Seattle for our next playoff game.